Hello and welcome to the Alpha Edge Podcast, the show for men over 50 who refuse to fade out, slow down, play small, or settle for average. I'm your host, Kevin English. I'm a healthy aging expert, coach, and founder of the Alpha Edge, and I am here to help you get and stay strong in every dimension of your life, physically, mentally, emotionally, morally, and spiritually. You're here because you're ready to reclaim your power, to own your masculinity, and lead your life with strength and purpose. If you're ready to sharpen your edge, revive your drive, and lead like a man who's built for more, you're in the right place. All right, men, let's get after it. All right, men, let's go. Today's topic is mission critical. It is foundational. It is 101 because I'm seeing way too many guys that are just out there drifting. They've lost their sense of direction. They're surviving instead of thriving. They're not leading. They're comfortable, but they're not fulfilled. They're busy, but they're not purposeful. And today we're going to fix that. We're going to build a battle plan for your life. I'm not talking about some fluffy vision board crap. I'm talking about identifying your core values, knowing what they are, writing a mission statement that punches you in the gut, and laying down a real tactical 90-day battle plan across the 5 pillars of masculine strength. Guys, it is time to stop drifting and start dominating. Let's go. Okay, guys, let me ask you something here, and I want you guys to be brutally honest with yourself here. Do you feel like you're coasting? Like you're going through the motions? Like you're doing a lot, you're busy, but you're not really going anywhere, just spinning your wheels. You wake up, you go to work, you pay the bills, you scroll your phone, you get through the day, and then you rinse and repeat, kind of like Groundhog Day. And maybe on paper, everything looks fine, but deep down, you know that you're not living at your full potential. You know that you are built for more. You know that you've got a lion inside of you, but you're living like a house cat. I talk to guys all the time who feel this way. Successful guys, good men, but they've lost their fire. They've lost their edge. Somewhere along the way, they've lost their mission. They're drifting. They're not leading. They're reacting to life, not creating it. And the truth is, drifting is dangerous because it feels safe. It feels easy, but it's slowly stealing your power, your purpose. It's neutering your masculinity. It's robbing you of your God-given purpose. Let me say something hard right now, and I want you guys to feel this. You cannot lead your family, your business, or your legacy if you are not leading yourself. And if you don't have a clear code to live by, if you don't have a clear mission that drives you, if you don't have a concrete battle plan for the life you want, then men, you're just reacting. You're drifting. And the world is more than happy to hand you a script that keeps you weak, soft, passive, and tame. But that's not what you were made for. You were made to lead, to conquer, to protect, to build, to fight for what matters, and to live with purpose every single day. So today we're going to draw a line. We're going to reclaim our edge. We're going to get clear on who we are, what we stand for, and where we're going. And we're going to build a mission-ready battle plan that will make your next 90 days the most powerful, focused, and fulfilling of all your life. We are going to start this process by helping you identify your core values, the non-negotiable code you live by as a man. You cannot walk out your mission if you do not know what you stand for. So guys, grab a pen and a notebook and let's get to work. All right, guys, let's get to it. If you don't know what you stand for, you're going to fall for damn near anything. And look, that's not just a catchy saying, that's a hard truth. Because here's what I've learned. Most men aren't weak because they lack strength. They're weak because they lack clarity. They haven't taken the time to figure out what actually matters. They haven't clearly defined their code, their internal compass. And if you don't have that, you're going to drift. You're going to compromise. You'll get pulled in 1,000 directions and wonder why you feel lost. But not you, not anymore. Today, we are going to identify your core values. And guys, this isn't meant to be fluff. These are the core principles that you live by. These are the standards that define you. These are the lines in the sand that you do not cross no matter what. This is your code as a man. And here's how we're going to do this simple, powerful exercise. I want you guys to grab a notebook, or maybe if you prefer to do this electronically on your laptop, your phone, wherever you can. I want you to stop and think deeply and write freely. So step number 1, I want you to write down 10 traits that you deeply admire in other men. Not what sounds good, not what's politically correct, not what your wife or your pastor or your friends want to hear. I'm talking about the traits that light you up when you see them. The traits that make you say, that's the kind of man I want to be. Okay, got your top 10 traits? Good. Let's move on to step number 2. I want you to narrow that list down to your top 5. Circle the 5 that feel the most true to who you are or who you want to become. So this is your aspirational list. Who do I see myself as? What do I want to become? What's the ideal version of myself? Which of these 5 values best defines that? All right, got it? Now on to step 3. I want you to pick your top 3 out of the 5 you just circled. These are your core values. These are your pillars that your life should rest on. These are the filters for your choices, your actions, your habits, your relationships, and your legacy. Now, if you're getting a little stuck in this exercise, let me give you a little fuel here. Here is a suggested list of some masculine core values to kind of help give you an idea of what we're talking about here. So let me just read off a few here. Strength, courage, discipline, integrity, responsibility, honor, loyalty, grit, wisdom, leadership, self-control, faith, service, humility, boldness, perseverance, brotherhood. Hopefully you get the idea here. You don't need to choose from this list, but I wanted to challenge you. If your values don't make you a little bit uncomfortable, you're probably playing too safe. And look, you were not built for a life of comfort and convenience. You were built for challenge, responsibility, for impact. And that starts with knowing what you stand for. All right, so here's your daily challenge. Here's what I want you to do starting today. I want you to write your 3 core values at the top of your journal every morning this week. And right next to your 3 core values, I want you to write the question, how will I walk these out today? Don't just carry your values in your head. You got to live them, speak them, act them out in the real world, because values without action are just aspirations. They're just wishes. You want to be the man you say you are? Prove it every damn day. Now you know what you stand for. Next, we're going to put those values into motion. We're going to craft a mission statement for your life, one that's going to give you direction, focus, and fire. All right, guys, let's go. Okay, you've done the work. You've uncovered your values. You've defined what matters. Fantastic. Great job. Now it's time to go into the next step. Now we're going to put that into action, because values are only powerful if they lead to movement, if they give your life direction, if you put them into action. And that's exactly what your life mission statement is designed to do. Think of your mission statement as your internal North Star, your marching orders, your filter for every yes, every no, every decision, every battle. You've got your why. Now let's give it some legs. So why do we even have a mission statement? Because the world has plans for you, man. It wants to keep you tame, distracted, addicted, and comfortable. It wants you to be a consumer, not a leader. It wants you to play small, keep quiet, and sit down. But a man on a mission, he doesn't drift. He doesn't dabble. He leads with focus, with clarity, and with conviction. And that's the kind of man you're becoming. So let's give you a battle cry. Here's how we're going to craft your life mission statement. You don't need to write a novel. This isn't about perfection. It's about power. And your mission statement should be simple. Keep it 1 or 2 sentences. It should be active. You want to use strong verbs that move. It should be rooted, so it should be grounded in your core values. And it should be purposeful. It should be bigger than your comfort. It should call out your calling. Now, remember, this is your personal mission. This is not a company slogan. It's a call to arms for your life. So here's a simple formula to get started. And bear with me here. I'm just going to read this out, and then I'm going to give you some examples. But here's a formula here. I exist to verbs. I'm going to put your verb in there. Who or what. So I'm going to put your who or what in there. By how. You're going to put your how in there, so that, and you're going to put your result or your impact in there. So let me give you a couple examples of what this looks like. For example, I exist to lead my family with strength and love by leading with courage, discipline, and faith so that I can leave a legacy of honor and truth. That's a pretty good one. Next up, I exist to strengthen men by speaking truth and modeling integrity so that they rise and lead their own lives with purpose. Pretty darn good there. And here's another one. I exist to master my body, mind, and spirit by living with relentless discipline so I can lead, protect, and provide. Okay, and here's my personal mission statement. I am a man who leads himself and others with love, strength, and integrity so that I can live in alignment with my purpose and calling. I show up daily with passion, discipline, and drive. I refuse to settle for anything less than what my Creator has called me to be. All right, guys, so I think you get the picture here, right? We want to create a personal mission statement. And here's my advice. Two things. One is I want you to write this down somewhere where you can see it. Put it on a sticky note and put it on your desk. Put it on your bathroom mirror. For me, I've got it on it's my screensaver on my laptop. So every time I open up my laptop and when I'm here at my desktop, I've got a big monitor as well on my desk. That mission statement is up there. I've got a big picture of a lion's face and then in bold print, my mission statement's there. I read it every single day. So number one, I want you to craft this mission statement and then put it somewhere you can see every single day. Number two, I want you to share your mission statement. Now, this mission statement is not meant for the whole world, but I do want you to share it with your inner circle, with your brotherhood. Here in the Alpha Edge Army, that's our men's group that we run here, we have a 5-stage blueprint that helps men become the strongest version of themselves. And stage one starts with them not only writing their mission statement, we go through the same kind of exercise that we're going through here, but we also share our mission statement with our brothers in our private forum. And as men, it is our sacred responsibility to hold each other accountable to our mission statement. So for example, everybody in our group knows my mission statement. If they ever catch me living out of alignment with that, I fully expect them to call me out on that, to call me up, to call me into alignment again with my purpose and my calling and my mission statement. So there you go. I want you guys to craft your personal mission statement. I want you to put it somewhere you can see it every single day. And I want you to share it with your inner circle, with your brothers. If you don't have a tribe, get a tribe, form a tribe, join a tribe. But you should have an inner circle of brothers who you are comfortable sharing your mission statement with. And I want you to ask them to hold you accountable to that. When they see you out of alignment to that, they should call you out on that. And look, these aren't just words. These are your marching orders. These are anchors for when life gets messy. They're clarity for when you're tempted to settle. All right, so at some point today, right now, maybe pause this episode, or maybe you're driving, working out, doing something else. Maybe right after this, I want you to take 10 to 15 minutes, maybe 5 to 10 minutes, and write out your first draft. You don't need to overthink this. You don't need to worry about sounding cool or sounding stupid. Just write the truth. Start with, I exist, or I'm a man who, and then go from there. Let your values drive the verbs. Let your vision fuel the mission. And once you got it, read it out loud. Does it give you chills? Does it punch you in the gut? If not, go a little deeper. Maybe you're not quite there yet. Now, here's your Alpha Edge challenge. I want you guys, each and every one of you listening to this, to write your mission statement. Write it down on a note card. Carry it in your wallet. Put it on your bathroom mirror. Again, make it the background on your phone or the background on your laptop. But guys, I want you to read this every single day out loud, because repetition builds remembrance, and remembrance fuels resolve. You don't want to forget who you are or what your mission is, because the world is really, really good at trying to make you forget. Okay, now you've got your core values defined and you've got your mission statement locked in. It's time to operationalize all of this. So next up, we are going to build your 90-day battle plan. This is where you take your mission and you put it into daily motion across the 5 pillars of strength. Let's put some boots on the ground and let's build your plan of attack. Okay, man, this is where it all comes together. You've got your core values. You've written your mission statement. Now it's time to turn that mission into momentum, because clarity without action is just wishful thinking. It's time to get off the sidelines and get into the fight. This is your 90-day battle plan. This isn't a bucket list. It's not a bunch of goals you're going to forget by next week. This is a mission-driven operating system that helps you live your values, walk out your mission, and build your legacy one day at a time. Now, why 90 days? I feel like 90 days is long enough to create real, meaningful change, but it's short enough to stay urgent and focused. We are not building a 10-year plan here. We're creating a 3-month campaign of domination. All right, so here we go. Our 90-day battle plan. Step number 1, guys, we need to define the objective. So again, I want you to open your notebook, open your journal, and answer this question. What does it look like to live my mission over the next 90 days? Get specific. If your mission is to lead your family with strength, what would that look like in action? If your mission is to build a legacy of discipline, how would that show up in your body, in your habits, in your relationships? I want you to write your answer to these questions with bold, aggressive clarity. Okay, step number 2 for your 90-day battle plan is we are going to apply the 5 pillars of strength. Your battle plan is going to be built around the 5 pillars that we live by here at the Alpha Edge, and that is physical strength, mental strength, emotional strength, moral strength, and spiritual strength. You are only as strong as your weakest pillar. And here at the Alpha Edge, we train all of them because you weren't made to be a one-dimensional man. So let's break these down. Physical strength. This is the foundation because if you don't command your body, you're going to be ruled by it. So what might this look like? Maybe 3 strength training sessions per week. Maybe you have a goal to lose 10 pounds of fat. Maybe you're going to walk 10,000 steps daily. Maybe you're going to take a break from alcohol, no alcohol for 90 days. Maybe you're going to meal prep every Sunday. But I want you to pick 1 to 2 targets in this physical strength realm that are meaningful and impactful to you. Now, be careful. I don't want you to overcommit. I just want you to get something that you can execute and be successful in here. All right, pillar number 2 is mental strength. Look, the body follows the mind, so we are going to train it like a weapon. Here's a few ideas here. Maybe you read 1 nonfiction book per month. So that's 3 nonfiction books that you're going to read here over the next 90 days. 10 minutes of focused breath work daily. Maybe we're going to quit social media for 30 days, a 30-day social media fast. Maybe we're going to learn something new. We're going to challenge the brain in this time period. But your mission requires a sharp mind, period. Let's be mentally strong. Next up is emotional strength. So remember, emotional control isn't weakness, it's warfare. So some ideas here. I'm a big fan of journaling myself. Maybe you start by saying, hey, I'm going to journal 3 days per week. Maybe you're going to have a hard conversation that you've been avoiding. Maybe it's weekly date nights with your wife. Maybe it's a gratitude practice daily, first thing in the morning or right before bed. But a strong man knows how to lead his emotions and not be led by them. Next up is moral strength. Guys, this is your integrity. This is your inner compass. This is your character in the dark when nobody else is looking. So some ideas here. Maybe you're going to identify 1 vice and you're going to eliminate it for 90 days. Maybe it's you're going to speak your truth even when it's uncomfortable. Maybe it's setting a personal boundary and enforcing it. Or maybe it's owning some mistakes that you've made without excuse or deflection. But your soul knows when you're out of alignment. Get it right. And finally, spiritual strength. This is your anchor. This is your power source. This is your higher mission. So some ideas here: daily prayer, meditation. Big fan of this, guys. If you don't have a daily prayer practice or at least a daily meditation practice, get on it. Maybe you read some scripture every morning. Maybe you join a men's Bible study or a spiritual group. Maybe you serve in your church or in your community. But know that a disconnected man is a weak man. I want you to plug into your source. Okay, so there are some ideas on how we might apply the 5 pillars of strength here in our 90-day battle plan. Okay, so next up is step 3, and we're going to choose 1 to 2 commitments per pillar. Don't try to do everything. Just pick the fewest actions that are going to drive the most impact. I want you to write them down, post them on your fridge, your bathroom mirror, put them on your war board, and then I want you to do them every single day. Step number 4, we're going to set up a weekly check-in. This is your self-leadership ritual. Every Sunday, I want you to carve out 15 minutes. That's it, just 15 minutes. And I want you to ask yourself, did I walk out my values this week? Did I take action aligned with my mission? Where did I show up strong? And where did I fall short? And how am I going to fix that? No shame, no excuses, just brutal honesty. Warriors debrief, civilians ignore. I want you to be a warrior. And finally, I've got a optional step 5 for you here, and that's to build a battle board. And I like the idea of setting up a battle board, something that's visual. It could be a whiteboard in your office. It could be a wall calendar. It could be on your computer as a spreadsheet or a checklist. But it's something that you look at every day that says, this is who I am. This is where I'm going. This is how I'm showing up. And I want you to track those weekly wins, cross off each daily action, and watch your life transform. Now, my final thought for you here is don't do this alone. You're not a lone wolf. Find a brother, a mentor, a tribe, someone who will ask you, hey, did you do what you said you were going to do? Men thrive in brotherhood. Men stagnate in isolation. If you don't have that brotherhood, come join us. That's what the Alpha Edge Army is built for. Okay, guys, you've got your values, you've got your mission, and now you've got your 90-day plan of attack. And so finally, I'm going to give you your final marching orders, the final charge, and a challenge to step into the fire and own your life. Let's bring this thing home. All right, you've done the work. You've pulled back the curtain on your life. You've confronted the drift. You've called out the comfort, the apathy, the passive living. And now you've got a code, you've got a mission, and you've got a battle plan. And here's the truth. Nobody's coming to save you. There's no cavalry, no shortcut. Here at the Alpha Edge, we are strong proponents of radical responsibility. We are responsible for ourselves. If you want to reclaim your edge, if you want to become the kind of man your wife admires, your kids respect, and your younger self would be proud of, then that's on you. Now, here's the good news. You've already got what it takes. You've just forgotten who you are. And I'm here to remind you, you're a man made for war. A man built for battle, a man forged in fire, not built for comfort, but for conquest. You were never meant to live soft, quiet, and passive. You were meant to lead, to build, to protect, to fight for what matters, to walk with strength, courage, and purpose every single day. So here's your charge. No more drifting. No more excuses. No more sleepwalking through your one and only life. Get in the arena, step into the fire, lead your damn life, read your mission statement every morning, walk out your values every day, execute your battle plan with intensity and conviction, be aggressive, dominant, and when you fall, because you will, get back up. You're not here to be perfect. You're here to be dangerous, disciplined, and unstoppable. This is your time. The world doesn't need more passive men. It needs you, fully alive, fully engaged, fully locked in. Let the average guy chase comfort. You chase legacy. Let the world hand out participation trophies. You win battles. Let the boys play games. You build kingdoms. All right, guys, if this episode lit something up in you, don't let it fade. You got the vision, you got the fire. Now it's time to turn that fire into execution. And to help you do that, I put together a free resource. It's called the Alpha Edge Battle Plan Builder. This is a printable guide that walks you step by step through everything we covered today in this podcast. Identifying your core masculine values, crafting your personal mission statement, creating a clear, powerful 90-day plan across the 5 pillars of strength, and setting up a weekly ritual to keep you locked in and on mission. Now, this isn't some fluff workbook. This is a weapon. It's designed to help you stop drifting and start leading. And you can download this guide right now by using the link in the show notes on whatever app you're listening to this on, or you can head over to alphaedgearmy.com to grab your free copy. But guys, don't just think about it. Do it. The world doesn't need any more passive men. It needs you on mission and in motion. So I'll leave you with this. You have a mission. You've got your orders. Now go sharpen your edge and let's get to work. Okay, men, that's our show for this week. Don't forget to download our free guide titled How to Raise Your Testosterone Naturally. You can find the download link in the show notes for this episode on whatever app you're listening to this podcast on. If you've enjoyed today's show, here are 3 ways you can support us. Number 1, share this episode with a friend. Number 2, make sure to like and follow this show, and please consider leaving us a 5-star review. Number 3, give us a follow over at Instagram. We're at Alpha Edge Army. So that's Alpha Edge Army all run together. I really appreciate you men taking the time to listen, and until next week, stay strong.